Next week's the season finale. Today, it's the penultimate. This is Mega Man NG and I welcome you guys to another Flash Season 4 episode review. Today we're going to be talking about the penultimate episode, Think Fast. And yeah, I will admit, I thoroughly liked it, but I have to provide a review, so what can you do? So let's get started. I'll provide a summary as well as some of the main focus. Now bear in mind, some of the main focus is going to involve discussion on my Season 4 finale review. And if you guys know me, my finale reviews are ones where I really go the deep end, where I really spend a lot of time talking about not only the episode as a whole, but also the entire season as well as a few points. If you don't believe me, look up my Season 2 review, The Race of His Life, and you'll realize that it's considered my best review so far. Sadly, there will not be no top 5 of Season 4 because I felt Season 4 felt a bit lackluster. Let us begin. DeVoe finally makes his move. He invades an Argus facility where Fallout is kept and uses him to complete his plans to initiate the Enlightenment. When Team Flash hears about it, Barry is ready to go on the move to stop him. There's just one problem, however. DeVoe has hostages, and he's willing to do what he must to achieve his goals. Caitlin and Cisco want to help, but Barry refuses because he doesn't want to take a risk and put his friends in danger. Sometimes a reality check is what Barry needs. Can Team Flash be able to stop DeVoe before his enlightenment comes to fruition? Yeah, that's pretty much the whole gist of the episode. Before I explain, next week is, like I said, the season finale review, and it's going to be a big one. Now let's focus on the episode itself. Yep, DeVoe's plans have now decided to go full throttle. Remember, after the events of last week's episode, his wife Marilee's left him, and this pretty much made DeVoe very cold-hearted. It's at this point he realizes that if his wife wants no part of this, that's fine by him, then his wife will suffer along with the rest of the world. So he decides to jumpstart his plan to reach enlightenment, and he does so by invading an Argus facility where Fallout is kept. Unfortunately, it's where he decides to go all out. He doesn't really need to do much. He just uses all the different powers that the metas had, and how he does it is just so beautifully done. I mean, that to me was what I consider to be one of the highlights of the episode. DeVoe just coming in and seeing the troops, and he just uses his power while as if he was in an orchestra with the song Hallelujah just flying all over the place. It's as if he unleashed a holy hand grenade or something. I'm thinking Worms 3D with it, but you get my point. The whole reason was that he wanted to come in and use Fallout as sort of like a battery. Sort of like a battery so he can power his satellites and he can be able to launch them all over space to initiate his plans. Sure, Team Flash was able to stop him by destroying one of them. It didn't faze him one bit, and he would eventually, well, strike at the end of the episode. Anyway, the main focus itself is on Barry and his insecurities. Barry still has this gung-ho attitude that he wants to stop DeVoe no matter what it takes, but he doesn't want to have his friends involved. Because, yeah, he's still torn over the loss of Ralph Dibny. He's still torn and his actions were proof of it. Cisco and Caitlin, especially Cisco, call him out on it. Because, yeah, Barry is still torn over the loss of his friend. But that doesn't mean he has to shut himself out from everybody else, which is what's happening. He tried every single plan, and eventually when they learned that there were hostages, well, that plan kind of changed. And Cisco and Caitlin wanted to help out. So what was most interesting is that, well, Barry had them train under Flashtime. Remember the episode Enter Flashtime when Barry pretty much slowed down time to be a complete stop? So that way, they can be able to get it done fast. And seeing Cisco and Caitlin in Flashtime was pretty nice. Although it does give Caitlin a much needed upgrade. Although she also ends up getting an injury which leads to a flashback. And that flashback culminated in the origin of Killer Frost. If you guys remember, Caitlin lost her powers because, well, she touched DeVoe when she gained a new body. And yes, it ended up causing her powers to be taken away. But we now find out that Killer Frost is a part of her all along. And it just needs the right spark to bring it back. Hopefully they do bring it back. As for Cisco, however, I find that, well, he really wanted to help out as much as he could. But I'm surprised he actually called out Barry on it. And to me, it's about time. It's about time because Barry really feels that he can't do this alone. He needs his friends. And it took him this long to make him realize it. Personally, I just find Barry to be a complete and utter idiot. And yes, he is an idiot sometimes, but he has good intentions. It's too bad that he feels that without his friends, he can't be able to do anything at all. Also, the Iris and Harry subplot actually proved out to be interesting. And sure, Harry continues to getting more forgetful as a result of his actions with the dark matter and the thinking cap, but Harry actually turned out to be pretty helpful for Iris since it helped not only figure out where Maralise is located, but Iris was able to maybe convince Maralise that DeVoe has to be stopped. When Maralise saw Harry being more forgetful and trying to struggle with trying to say stuff, yeah, that's when Maralise realized that Harry is undergoing the final stages of DeVoe's plan for the Enlightenment. And it's scary. It really is scary. The only thing I hope is that when everything's all said and done, that Harry returns back to normal. Because I really hate seeing Harry go down in such a way. It really is. Not only that, but the subplot involving Joe and Cecile was actually a bit funny. Yeah, because now Cecile's metahuman powers now has her adapting personalities. And seeing her adapt the personalities of Joe and Caitlin, it was kind of funny. It was rather hilarious. But I felt it was a nice balance to the seriousness that we had in the episode. They even mentioned Wally, who, as Joe says, was like on a big time ship. A nod to the fact that Wally is now in Legends of Tomorrow after Wally decided to bow out from the Flash. What can you do? I actually liked Wally as a character, but I hated how he got very underutilized. The same can be said for Diggle, because it's nice to see Diggle again from Arrow, even if it is for a few minutes. My only problem is that his appearance was a bit lackluster and did not contribute to the overall plot, especially at the beginning, when DeVoe disguised himself as Diggle to do it. The ending itself, however, oh boy indeed, this is not good for Team Flash, because DeVoe has finally got what he needs, and he actually used one of the satellites from Star Labs to complete it. What's going to happen next week? I don't really know. It's going to be insane. I really am looking forward to the Season 4 finale. The only thing I hope is that it's better than Season 3, because Season 3 ended on somewhat of a cliffhanger, which felt pretty sad, because by the beginning of Season 4, Barry was needed back out, and in turn created this whole mess. So my final rating for this episode is going to be an 8 out of 10. I really liked it. I really liked the episode. There were a few problems here and there, but overall the episode really set things up nicely for the finale. The only thing I hope is that the finale delivers, compared to last season, which was kind of a bit of a disappointment, and Season 2, which I swear Season 2 still blows me out of the water. I still love the Season 2 finale. I only hope that the Season 4 finale can deliver, especially with now Barry having to deal with a threat like DeVoe, who not only is powerful, but he has everything he needs to pretty much black out the entire world and lead them to a period of enlightenment. It's gonna get really, really insane. Now, next week is going to be my Season 4 finale review, but I'm going to be breaking it down for you guys so that way you guys will know what to expect. First will be the review of the episode, and I'm talking about the season finale on its own merits. I will also provide a score for the season overall, so that way you guys will know what it is, what my rating is for the entire season overall, including the crossover part of Crisis on Earth X. The following ones after it is going to be discussing various points that have occurred throughout the season. First is Barry as a character in Season 4, because I felt that Barry's character started off getting good, but then kind of went down, well, when you realize that they need Barry, and his insecurities proved out to be a very big problem. And I really want to discuss about that. Not only that, but we'll also be talking about Ralph Dibny, the fallen hero. Yes, I will be devoting part of this review to Ralph Dibny, and how Ralph Dibny became so much of a good influence to Team Flash and Barry, that I feel he is a hero in his own right. It is a shame that he ends up becoming the last body the Thinker needs. The last body that DeVoe needs so that way he can be able to complete his master plan. And speaking of a Thinker, Clifford DeVoe, best Flash villain? I say yes. And I will be discussing about why DeVoe, in my opinion, is one of the best villains in the Flash TV show. More so than Eobor Thawne and Hunter Zolomon. Those two get a tie, but Thawne's the better villain in my opinion. Not only that, what to expect for Season 5. And yes, the season finale is finally going to reveal that mysterious girl we've been seeing all throughout the season. And she's going to be having a big role in Season 5. Who knows how that will turn out. So yeah, that is going to be it for this episode review. It's not much, but I want to make sure I get this up sooner rather than later. Next week is going to be a big one, so you better hold on to your seats. It's going to be a very bumpy ride. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. If you've seen the episode, let me know in the comments. And yeah, be sure to share this video around. Don't forget to subscribe, and more importantly, click the bell. Click the bell so that way you know when I'll be uploading next. And it's the only way we can fight against YouTube's craziness, because YouTube's already messed things up as it is, and it's only going to get worse from here. This is Mega Man NG signing off. Peace out. See you for the Season 4 finale. We are the Flash.